Let's go Broncos! The Denver Broncos running back room may look calm from the outside, but don't be fooled. As training camp gets closer, this group carries one of the most important questions of the summer. Is Denver finally ready to build a run game strong enough for a Super Bowl push? Or is one familiar face about to lose his place? J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, Jonah Coleman, Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Batty, and Cody Schrader all enter this battle with something to prove, but not all of them can survive the final cut. 10-0 alguns pontos importance para border com vocês hoje, mas antes de prosseguir, certifica que voce já é per tu o botal do like. Mas só faca isso se você é verdadeiro torcedor do Denver Broncos. Go Broncos! Vamos para o Super Bowl! Now let's get straight into it. Broncos country, because this running back room is not as wide open as some people may think. In fact, as Denver gets ready for training camp, the top of this group feels almost locked in. The Broncos brought back most of the same backs from last season, and that tells us something important. The coaching staff did not look at the run game struggles and say, we need to throw everyone out and start over. They looked at it more like a scheme problem. They believed the system, the rhythm, and the way the run game was built needed to be fixed more than the players themselves. That is a huge detail, because if Sean Payton and this staff believed the backs were the real issue, we probably would not be talking about so many familiar names returning to camp. But here we are, with a room that has a clear top three, one possible fourth spot, and a battle that could get emotional for fans who have followed these players closely. The name at the top is J.K. Dobbins. Last year, at this same point, nobody really knew exactly what Denver had in him. He had joined the team after minicamp, and the same question followed him that had followed him before. Could he stay healthy? That was the big concern. But when he was on the field, the answer about his talent was loud and clear. In the 10 games he played, Dobbins showed that he can still be a difference maker. He brought power, burst, personality, confidence, and the kind of presence that changes the way an offense feels. He averaged 5.0 yards per carry, and he gave Denver 21 runs of 10 yards or more. That is not just a small spark. That is the kind of production that can flip a drive, wake up a sideline, and make a defense start thinking twice. Sean Payton has called him a multiplier, and that word fits because Dobbins is not just a runner who takes the ball and gets what is blocked. He brings other people with him. He creates energy. He makes the offense feel more dangerous. And Broncos country knows how different things might have felt late in the season if he had been available. The discussion from the Locked On Broncos crew was clear. They believe that if Dobbins had been able to play in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots, Denver may have won that game. That is how much respect there is for what he brings. Now, of course, the health question still matters. It always matters with him. But the belief entering this season is strong. There is confidence that Dobbins can play a major role, maybe even 16-plus games. And if that happens, Denver has a real number one back. He is not just a depth piece. He is not just a veteran insurance plan. He is the guy who can lead this room and make life easier for everyone around him. Behind him, R.J. Harvey enters year 2 with a very interesting spotlight. And Broncos fans, this is where we need to slow down a little. Sometimes expectations get messy with young players. A guy gets drafted, fans hear where mock drafts thought he should go, then they expect either instant stardom or instant disappointment. Harvey had 12 total touchdowns last season, with 7 receiving touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns. That matters. He showed he could help in the passing game. He showed he could be useful in the red zone. He showed flashes of explosiveness. He made clutch plays, including that touchdown on a route against the Houston Texans that helped Denver take the lead. He also made a big playoff play against the Buffalo Bills, catching a short pass, making defenders miss, and picking up the first down when Denver needed it. Those are the moments that tell you there is more there than just a box score. Yes, his 3.7 yards per carry as a rookie left some people frustrated. Yes, after Dobbins got hurt, there were fans who wanted Harvey to instantly take over and become a superstar. But the NFL does not always work that way. Growth is not always a straight line. Sometimes a player looks comfortable one week and unsure the next. Sometimes he flashes in small moments before he becomes consistent. Harvey was learning the offense. He was learning the speed of the league. He was learning what Sean Payton wanted from him. And even through the ups and downs, he played every game, including the playoffs, and finished with more than 1,000 yards from scrimmage across those 17 games. That should not be ignored. The hype around him might actually be too low right now. He is not being talked about enough as a player who could take a real step forward. And there's another important layer here. Harvey suffered a shoulder injury in the playoff game against Buffalo, reportedly a torn labrum, and had surgery in the offseason. The way it was described, you would not have known it from watching his attitude. He was frustrated after the loss because he felt he could have done more. That mindset matters. A young back who already knows the offense better, already has playoff experience, already showed he can catch the ball, and already proved he can play through pain is someone worth watching very closely. Then comes the rookie, Jonah Coleman, the new wrinkle in the room. Denver added him out of Washington in the NFL draft, and this pick changes the whole conversation. Coleman was ranked number 1 in his class in yards after contact, and that detail jumps off the page because Denver ranked 31st in the NFL in yards after contact in the run game last year. That is not a small connection. That is the Broncos clearly looking at a weakness and adding a player whose strength attacks that weakness directly. Coleman brings a physical style that could help Denver create more tough yards, more second effort yards, and more balance. He may not need to be the lead back right away, but his roster spot feels very secure. The question is not really whether he makes the team. The question is what role he earns. Could he push for third down work? Could he become part of the 2-minute package? Could he be the kind of situational back who gives Denver more trust than they had last year in those passing down moments? That is where this gets interesting, because if Dobbins is the top back and Harvey is the explosive year 2 weapon, Coleman may be the rookie who gives the room the physical edge it lacked. On paper, that makes this running back room better than last year. Health for Dobbins, development for Harvey, and physicality from Coleman could give Denver a much more complete group. But now we get to the real battle, the one Broncos fans will be watching at training camp, Jaleel McLaughlin versus Tyler Batty. These are two familiar players. These are not random camp bodies. These are guys fans have had real hopes for. McLaughlin came in as part of Sean Payton's first undrafted free agent class with the Broncos, and fans quickly got excited because of his college production and his explosive style. People dreamed about him becoming the next surprise Denver running back story. Batty has been around since 2022, after Denver picked him up following his time with Baltimore. His first touch with the Broncos was a catch and run touchdown, and that naturally made people wonder if there was something special there. But now, after all this time, both players may be fighting for one possible roster spot, and there is no guarantee that spot even exists. That is the hard part. Denver could keep 3 running backs. Denver could keep 4. If they keep 3, Dobbins, Harvey, and Coleman appear to be the group. If they keep 4, McLaughlin and Batty are probably battling head-to-head. Cody Schrader is also on the roster, but the discussion placed him more in the practice squad range than as a real favorite for the 4th spot. McLaughlin has the stronger rushing resume. He has averaged 4.8 yards per carry on 226 career carries. When he gets the ball, he can make things happen. He does not just fall down at first contact, and he reportedly added muscle mass this offseason. That could help him because the biggest question with a smaller explosive back is always whether he can hold up and earn trust in more situations. The frustrating part with McLaughlin is that Denver has not always been consistent giving him the football. There were times when he looked like one of the more effective backs on the field, but the touches did not always follow. Even after Dobbins was injured, the rotation never fully felt settled. McLaughlin made plays, including in the Christmas Day game against the Kansas City Chiefs, when he helped give Denver hope. He may not be the primary back, but he has shown enough to make this decision difficult. Batty, on the other hand, has a different case. His career rushing sample is tiny, with only 20 carries, though he has averaged 5.5 yards per carry. That number includes a big 48-yard run against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so the average may be a little inflated. But the real issue is that Denver has not used him much as a runner. His value has come more on third down, in 2-minute situations.